I'm Ash,
And I'm Fatima.
and this is Fatash,
Fatash.
and we're back
We
from
are back.
Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
guess break, if you can call it that. I guess it was a break. I didn't do anything for like 4 days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. I sat in the same spot on my grandmom's couch.
Oh, that must be nice.
Yeah, that's usually what happens at my nana's. We don't do anything. We ate at the table for Thanksgiving, but we essentially ended up just on the couch for the rest of the weekend. Did most of our Black Friday um, shopping online because it's like there's no point in running to the stores at the ass crack of dawn for doorbusters. No one really does doorbusters. It's like
Ah.
it's usually like Black Friday sale all month, if not
Mhm.
all week. And whatever you don't get on Friday, you can probably get on Cyber Monday. So you're not missing out. And it usually extends through the weekend. It'll be like Friday through Monday, a lot of
Mhm.
these sales. Did you do any shopping? You get any
I
sales?
did. I did. I've been dumb. I need to stop spending money.
Mm.
Okay, so I have been waiting for like Beats Flex to like go on sale. And they
Mm-hmm.
did go on sale and they dropped it by $20. And so I bought myself a pair. And then my like father saw me with them and he was like, "What are those?" And then he was like, "I want some." And I was like, "That's what you're getting for Christmas." So then I bought dad a
Oh,
pair.
spoiler.
Well, okay, so like I'll explain why we ask each other first, like, what would you like for Christmas? And then just get it because you remember how last year I explained how like cake is a big
Yes.
deal to me.
Yes.
Like presents are a big deal in this house, and if you get the wrong one, like somebody might put a hole in the wall. So
Oh Jesus, y'all need to work on that. The heck? That sound like some Kyle behavior.
we have some quite strong feelings in this house, but um, about cake and gifts and a whole bunch of other things. So like,
Just punching holes in walls. I
no,
said I
not
wanted
punch, like
beach.
throw a phone, like one of those like big
That's
heavy like
that.
phones.
Who still has heavy phones?
It
Y'all still
happened a
got.
long time ago, and then
Yeah.
people learned.
Wow.
You should get the gift right, or else risk the wrath and the damages.
That is unfortunate.
Anywho, so then I went back and got dad. Well, I didn't go back. I just like do went and ordered one, and then mom noticed them, and then she was like, "What are those? I want one." And then I had to like do it again. And then I was like, "Trevor, what do you want?" And then I was like, "Do you want these?" And then he was like, "No." And then he took a closer look at them. He was like, "Wait, those aren't plugged in?" And he was like, "Oh, those are wireless?" Yeah.
Wow.
And
Just
so
wireless
because
for the
I
whole
ordered like
family.
4 separate times, and then when I
Mm-hmm.
ordered for a separate time, ordered Trevor's last, the price had dropped by 10 more dollars. So then, like now my plan is to like return them and get the $10 off. You know how you can ask like any store that has a 30-day return policy. If it goes on sale
Mm-hmm.
after you buy it, you can ask them to refund like the money that you lost
The
by buying it
difference.
early. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will be doing that. Um, yeah. Also, so that was money that I spent, but I was gonna have to buy Christmas presents anyway, so it's not like it wasn't like a frivolous purchase. But then,
Yeah.
I did go into a Sally Beauty house, supply house, and Sally Beauty store or whatever, and it turns
Mm-hmm.
out like my favorite Sally Beauty store is closing down.
Oof.
I'm very sad. I'm very sad. It's the
Well,
most nearby one, and I am like devastated. Also, like the salesperson knows me there, so like the minute I walk in, she's like, "Hey, girl, we got this new product in this line that you want, that you like, and it's on sale. Like, do you want it?"
aw.
Yeah, she knows who I am the minute I step in, even though she's only seen me in a mask. Um,
I mean, your hair is pretty distinctive, and apparently you have a fat ass. So she's like, I recognize them curls and booty anywhere. Hey, girl.
Oh man, man. So I bought some As I Am like hair paint,
Oh wow, I haven't had As I Am forever.
and I put it in my hair, and you can't even tell because I didn't read the instructions before I put it in my hair. So like this is supposed to be flamingo pink, and all you can see is that it is black.
Yeah, I don't see no
It
pink.
is still black. It is
What you
not
do?
even
Rinse
pink
it
a little
out?
bit. Huh?
You rinse it out or something?
It's temporary, like it's hair
Yeah, it's like hair paint. Like usually you
paint.
just put it on the strands.
But like if you were to read the instructions, which I did not until after, is it says like you should put on like damp or dry hair, not dripping wet hair, because like dripping wet is when I do my hair. So
Oh.
that's why that's how I fucked it up. Also,
Mm.
I went to YouTube after the fact and found out that people were using this. They put it on like it's like not dripping wet, but also people are using like the whole jar on their hair, and I don't like a
Yeah.
lot of buildup and stuff. And I was, just doing like a little bit here and there.
Girl, you have a lot of hair, and
I
it's thick
know, but
hair.
like
And you thought you were gonna get away with one jar?
I thought so.
You thought wrong. What?
And
Who
so
did you
now,
think you were?
but like they still have the sale on, so like now I'm torn between like never using this shit again because it didn't work, and
It didn't
buying
work 'cause you
all
didn't
the hair
use it
paints.
right.
Huh?
It ain't work because you ain't do it right.
I know, but should I like hurry up and buy all the paints before I've seen whether or not
I mean, you might as
I'm
well
even
just
capable of doing it right?
yes, because then you can just return whatever you don't use. Actually, you can return what you do use. I've returned stuff to Sally's before when I was like, yeah, I used this. My hair doesn't like it. I like to exchange it. And you have like a month, I think, to do it, if not more. So,
Yeah, but it's closing down. Like it'll be gone by the 9th.
okay, find another Sally's.
I can return it to a store I didn't buy it from?
Yes, it's a Sally store. As long as you have the receipt, you can make the return.
Oh, ooh, good idea.
Girl,
I think I will
you act
just
like this is one of these mom and pop Chinese hair supply stores. It's a retail brand. You can return it to any retail brand franchise as long as you have the receipt.
Okay.
So I say buy it up while it's on sale.
Okay.
Try it the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then, return it if you don't like it.
I am usually misinstructions.
I've noticed that about you.
Mm-hmm. The one time I'm like, okay, it's gel. It's a gel. I'm gonna use it like a gel, and I do it without reading the instructions first. Fuck it all up. And there is pink shit everywhere. But I was thinking like also
just
like
look like a murder in there. Just
it looked like a stripper
blood.
was murdered. Like it's like a stripper or a unicorn because like
a stripper bleeds pink. What?
Well, like strippers have lots of like body glitter and stuff on them. Like it's a good way to like mark a man, like because especially if you do it wrong and it's like real subtle, this shit is still flaking everywhere.
I mean, they do refer to glitter as like the herpes of the art world.
Yeah,
it just spreads and it's so hard to get rid of.
Oh man, I had a hairdresser who every year she would like send me a card and a coupon, and inside the card would be a whole bunch of glitter and shit. And so one time I opened up the card and like all this glitter got all over my fucking car.
It's like,
and she was like,
"This is not cute."
Like that's cute, and I was just kind of like, "Thanks for 15% off."
50% off to have glitter in my car forever. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm probably still finding glitter.
No, because it was a company car, so I drove that car for a few years, and then that became somebody else's problem.
They still finding glitter.
But there's still glitter in there, and they probably thought like, "What's up with her? Did she have a second job?"
There's a stripper in this car. Well, I also did shopping. I went to my Bath and Body Works. I've made out like gangbusters, honestly. Well, Bath and Body Works had their buy three get three promotion,
Mm.
and 20% off your entire purchase,
Yeah.
and $10 off a purchase of at least $35.
Hmm.
So yeah, I made out like a bandit. And then I dropped like $200 on books
Yep.
because it is Books a Million's annual buy two get one free on a lot of their manga, not all of them,
Oh.
but a decent amount of them between now and like late 2023. I've got books that'll be coming in over the next couple months, starting tomorrow, all the way up to like September.
Hmm.
That's almost like I might be getting like at least one book a week until September. And that's only because there were some books I couldn't order for pre-order, which is one of the things I like about Books a Million. You can use the discount on pre-orders. Barnes and Noble don't let you do that. Amazon don't let you do that. But
Hmm.
Books a Million, yeah, if one of the books that you're trying to buy on the buy two get one is a pre-order, it still counts. And you can
Oh.
put a discount on top of it. So I ended up saving like $100 on books.
Ooh.
And each book, like on the higher end of manga, they can be about $15. And I saved on average about $3 a book.
Hmm.
So back to what prices used to be in like the early 2000s, like $9 a book kind of deal. So I'm feeling good about that. Like I was waiting for me to like have buyer's remorse for spending $200 on manga. I'm like, nope. No. The only way I'm gonna feel any kind of way is if like one of the books I just do not like.
Hmm.
Because there have been times when I've tried new series, I'm like, nah, this ain't it. And it's easier to return with Amazon. Books a Million, not so much. Like Books a Million is just so far away from where I am. I don't want to have to deal with the return process. But I'm hopeful. I'm excited for the books to come in. There's one book in particular that's coming out in like so far away. I think it's like in May. It's called We Can't Do Just Plain Love. Hold on, let me give you the full title because the full title is a mess. Hold on. And by mess, I mean this looks like it's gonna be good.
Hmm.
Can't. It's like the title might as well be like a Fallout Boy or a Panic at the Disco track. You know, it's like two parts to it. Okay, so the full title is come on, Barnes and Noble, come on. We can't do just plain love. She's got a fetish. Her boss has low self-esteem. I know. I know, right? I'm like, okay, and I'm looking at the cover. I'm like, okay, the dude is hot. The chick looks cute too. Cause like, generally speaking, I don't get a whole lot of like hetero romance manga because the main characters usually are boring looking to me. Like they're not attractive. Like I'm not here to look at non-attractive people who get it on. Okay. And one of the series I'm actually reading right now is
Why are
called
people bashing straight people so hard all
I'm
over the
not
place?
bashing them. I'm just saying I'm bored. That's all. I'm just bored. And the male on male romance ones are usually more interesting, or at the very least, they get the more interesting stories. Like there's stories that you could have a heteronormative couple doing the same thing, and I'd probably be just as intrigued.
Mm.
But in the latter half of my reading manga and stuff, the more interesting stories have been with the homosexual ones, whether it's like woman on woman or male on male. Like those instances have been more exploratory of the characters, not just sex for the sake of sex. Like my friend is reading a woman on woman romance manga about it's called I Can't Believe I Slept with You. And the premise sounds like a porn, right? So a chick is renting an apartment and she ends up sleeping with the landlord. but she didn't know it was the landlord that she slept with, and she can't afford her rent. And so the landlord's just like, well, let's keep, doing what we're doing, and I'll like give you half on your rent or something along those lines. But it's not as skeevy as it sounds. It's like,
it sounds very
I
skeevy.
know
It
it
sounds like
sounds. I
it
know,
sounds like
I
this was
know,
a problem in 2020. Do you not
I
remember?
know, I know. It sounds very skeevy, and I was like, this sounds very skeevy. But to look at the cover, it's like very sweet. So again, it's not all sex. Like the first time she
The
slept with
cover
her,
looks sweet, and then you open it up and read it and learn that it's about fucking for the rent.
actually is not. Like I said, the first time she slept with her landlord, she didn't know it was the landlord. And they're not skeevy. Not all of them, anyway. I'll get to the skeevy ones. But anyway, this one in
So whoops, I
particular.
tripped and fell on your dick is like that's a thing in Chinese drama too. Like,
But I'm just saying, with this particular one, the premise sounds skeevy, but it's not. It's actually like, again, she sleeps with her landlord, not knowing the woman she
on
slept with.
accident.
No, she intended to sleep with the woman. She just didn't know the woman was her landlord. And then when she finds out it was her landlord, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm actually kind of low on the rent," the landlord should just like, "Well, I can help you out with that, and we can still like hang out and stuff." And they don't have sex like that. Like they actually are acting like they're dating, like doing household chores and just hanging out and enjoying each other's company. It's not like, "Hey, it's the first suck my dick" kind of thing. It's like, let's go to the farmer's market,
And then you can suck my dick.
Right. But so of the hetero romances that I'm currently reading, um one I can't even really call it hetero. I call it hetero just in the sense that the main couple is a man and a female. So one is called I Want to Be a Wall. And in it we have a woman who is assumably asexual, and she somehow is married to a gay man. We don't know why they're married, but it's like when we read volume 1, this is like the day after the wedding. They're like moved into his childhood home and everything. It feels like this was like an arrangement that they came to for whatever familial reasons, and they're still trying to learn about each other, and they still want to be good husband, good wife to each other, and whatever sense that means. They're just not sexually or romantically interested in each other. So we're just exploring this, for lack of a better term, unorthodox marriage of two people who just aren't into each other sexually. And I'm like, oh, this is cute. And then you have, because like it's funny too, because the wife, even though she's asexual, she is really big into like man on man manga. So she has like a huge collection of like yaoi and just boys love manga that she will not let her husband read, even though he's a gay man. She's like, do not read any of this. I don't want you looking at my shame. She's like ashamed of her collection essentially. And she don't want him reading it because it'd be like all raunchy and stuff. So like, please do not get any ideas from this. I want you to have a pure romance with your childhood friend. Like she's rooting for him and his like childhood crush. She's like, oh my god, y'all are so cute together. Oh my god, I ship y'all. But not in like a weird way. Like she just is genuinely trying to like cheer him on and help him get over the fact that his crush is assumably straight. I believe his childhood friend has a girlfriend, so that's not gonna go anywhere. But he still sometimes will like read one of her manga that she leaves out and be asking her questions like, what's an omega? Girl, she was so mad that he felt like she was like just shocked. She's like, oh my god, I can't believe you found that. Let's never discuss this ever again. But anyway, so that one's cute. And then another one I'm reading is called Ladies on Top. That one I like too. It's another kind of unorthodox man and woman relationship where the woman generally does not like when guys start to be a little like domineering in a relationship, and not even in like a bad way, just in the sense of like they're taking control, in the sense of like they're the ones that are going in for a kiss, or they're the ones who are like initiating sex. She always gets turned off by that. And she's dating this new guy, and she like instead takes the initiative with him. And she likes taking the initiative, but he's like all like, the man should take the lead. What are you doing? Like, are you trying to peg me? Like, what is happening? And she's like, what are you talking about? I just want to take the lead. Like, what? I might want to peg you. I don't even know what you're talking about, kind of thing. So they're trying to navigate a relationship in which, you know, a woman is the more maybe sexually domineering than he is, because he likes it, but he don't want to admit that he likes it because it's like, this isn't normal. She's like, well, maybe our normal isn't everybody's normal. So it's cute, all things considered. It's cute just watching them again navigate what is their normal outside of social norms. And then there's Game Between the Suits, which is about two co-workers. One chick, she's like married to her job. Like the first chapter, she's like having sex with her boyfriend, and her boss calls, and she picks up the phone during sex. Mm. And he's like, are you for real? And he leaves. He's like, yo, fuck this. You go fuck your job, basically. She's like, all right, whatever. And then some new dude comes in and is all trying to flirt with her and stuff. She's like, look, dude, I'm your superior. This is inappropriate, and I'm not interested in you like that. So you can just stop now. And he's like, okay, but what if I can get you interested? And she's like, well, I'm trying to actually fall in love for once. Like, I'm tired of just fucking around. I want to actually be in love with the next person I sleep with. He's like, well, I don't know nothing about that, but like, what if we just keep sleeping around, and then like, if you fall in love with me, then we can call it quits. She's like, I. So now they're fucking escort. But I'm gonna read it because it's only like 3 volumes long. But I don't like the character designs. They are so skinny. Like, the only difference between the dude and the chick is that he's slightly taller and has slightly broader shoulders. But they're both really skinny, and she just has big boobs on a skinny body. And I'm like, this is not, I don't like this at all. So, the 2 new series that I'll be picking up in 2023 are, again, We Can't Do Just Plain Love. She's got a fetish. Her boss has low self-esteem. I decided to like read a couple pages of the first chapter online. And her fetish is really just, she has a really good sense of smell. So she likes your scent. She's like really into you just off your scent alone. So she really likes his scent. And he has some kind of self-esteem issue where he doesn't like being close to women. They make him uncomfortable by his words, but yet he pops a boner. So it's like, which is it, my guy? Because like,
well, maybe that's why he's uncomfortable around them, because like
he gets aroused easily.
Boners when you don't want there to be a boner are embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting the sense of, because he's like really attractive. All the girls in the office like him, but he doesn't like to be around women because he likes women. It's just, you know, his body overly reacts to being around women, and it makes him uncomfortable. That he knows that's going to make women uncomfortable, because he reveals that he had confessed his feelings to a girl in high school, and while he was confessing, he popped a boner, and she was uncomfortable with that, and he's been like, you know, essentially traumatized.
Okay, so he needs to go to therapy. Like, go.
No, he ain't going to therapy yet.
Why? Just go to therapy. Like,
you know, it's so hard to convince people to go to therapy. Let alone
it's a behavioral issue. There are behavioral treatments for that. Like,
I know, but this is only a couple pages into the first chapter, and it looks like there's at least 7 volumes. So maybe they'll go to therapy. Right now,
it's like a really simple like behavioral treatment. He can have that stitched in 6 weeks. Like,
probably, but this is how they're deciding to work on it. She's like, look, I like you and I want you, and you need to get comfortable around women, so I'm gonna let you fuck me. And that's how they're gonna work that out. So I'm on board because again,
Wow,
this guy is hot.
people just getting a fuck buddy when they should be going to therapy.
They really should. They really should. And it's funny you should bring that up. Because over the holiday weekend, I ended up watching Reasonable Doubt on Hulu. Have you heard of that show?
Mm-mm.
It's produced by Kerry Washington. It's essentially about a defense attorney and her juggling her life. And in this first season, we see that she is like not quite going through a divorce, but she's separated from her husband. Okay. And a man from her past comes back in while she's on break from her husband. And she's like trying to decide, do I go back to my husband or do I go back to this old flame? So you're watching her juggle that as well as her career and being like a defense attorney and all of that. It was actually pretty good. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more on Blurred Out, or on my Blurred Out during Blurred Die. But all that to say, there's a point where the husband is talking with two other husbands. The husband, what the fuck was this man? I'm gonna call him D because I can't remember his name. D is the husband to the main woman, and they're separated. And D's talking to his other friends. I'm gonna call the football player, I'm gonna call him Sam, and I'm gonna call his other friend Bob. They're all black. I'm just, for sake of me being able to remember these names. So D is lamenting to Sam and Bob that his wife isn't really considering his feelings and all the sacrifices he made all those years ago when they first got married, and how she suggested they go to couples therapy, but he don't want to go to couples therapy because it's just the therapist is just going to take her side. And I'm like, bruh, you ain't even try it to even know, like, yo, this therapist is biased. Let me pick the therapist. She just suggested, let's go to couples therapy. And Bob is like, actually, that's a good idea. Me and Sally went to couples therapy and man, it really helped our relationship. Like, he is like, playing devil's advocate and using the tools he learned in therapy to try to like moderate what's happening with his friend. But meanwhile, Sam is over there like, nah, yeah, see, she don't respect you. You gotta be a man. She thinks she all that. She at the law firm and she doing this, that, and third. And when she come home, she expect the same thing. That's why I don't let my wife tell me nothing. I do what I want. I'm like, D, please listen to Bob, the man who's actually gone to therapy and can attest that, hey, it worked for my family. Like, he could even recommend you, bruh. But all that to say, some people are just, they would rather just fuck around and almost get a divorce than actually sit down and have a third party mediate what's going on in their relationship. Because to his defense, and I came into this series like I think halfway into my grandparents binging it and was like half paying attention, but he on several occasions had tried to express to his wife that he did not feel his feelings were being considered, and she was just steamrolling over him like, you don't understand me. Nah, nah, nah. I'm like, I don't think what he asked for was out of the question. Like, it sounded reasonable. Like, when they first got married, apparently he's from the East Coast and she's from LA. And for whatever reason, he was in LA at the time when they met. And he decided to stay in LA while she pursued her law degree. They ended up having 2 kids. He essentially became like a house dad. And now that their kids are a little older, and I guess he has other ambitions or what have you, he wants to renegotiate like how the family is run. And she's not listening or is not willing to like make certain compromises. I'm like, I feel like after about 15 years, it's worth going back and seeing like how can we renegotiate what we're doing in our relationship. Especially
not if I like it like this. You shut
Right.
up.
And to hear him complain, I'm like, this is the rant that you often hear from the female spouse, or the wife or the girlfriend who's like, I moved all the way out here to be with him. I'm not near my family. I put my career on hold. I raised the kid. Like, he's saying all of that. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, how's it feel? How's it feel to know what many a women have gone through? And from what I can see, he's still been able to do his job. He's like a game developer
Yeah.
in LA. I'm like, isn't this where you want to be? In Silicon Valley? Able to probably work from home a lot of the time? Like, I don't see what the problem is. But again, I only came into the series like halfway through. But yeah, I would actually recommend it. It wasn't bad. A lot of sex scenes. Wasn't expecting to see the stuff that I saw with my grandma sitting next to me. Just, yeah. But yeah, so that was essentially my Thanksgiving weekend and my shopping haul and the books that I'm looking forward to.
I will either buy 0 or 100 new hair paints.
I say just get them all while they're on sale. Now's the best time to just splurge.
Ugh. And then I
Because
have to
they're
figure
like,
out how to use them. Can you see it at all?
not a goddamn thing. Nope. Nothing. Nothing. Ain't a lick of pink there.
Ah, man. Okay, I did finish Death Note finally.
Ooh, okay. All right. What is your final consensus on it?
Okay, so Ryuk, the character, my least preferred character became my most preferred character.
See? You just gotta give him a chance
I
and an
just
apple.
had to give him like 36 hours to grow on me. But it because him at the end, like writing Light's name in the Death Note, being like, "Well, you go into jail, and jail will be boring, so it's time to kill you."
Nah, see, he should have let him live. Jail would be interesting. Well, I don't know what Japanese jail is like, but if you was like
Well, he
American
figured like,
jail,
no, you gonna sit in a cell now, so like that would be boring, and it's time to just end your ass because I'm not going to jail with you. I'm not going to sit around. They ain't got apples in jail.
they ain't got apples in jail. Yes, I gotta kill you so I can release the death note.
So it's time to kill you now. He didn't say it's been good, it's been bad. He said it's been interesting, and which is
It has
great
been
because
a time.
that is all that he was after the whole time.
He
When
was
they were
not here for a long time. He was here for a good time and an apple. As long as you kept them apples coming, he was good.
Why did you drop a death note in the human world? He was like, I thought it would be interesting. I was bored and I thought it would be interesting.
For
When I
shits and
think
giggles.
about why did I watch Death Note, I thought it would be interesting because I have seen Death Note related stuff all around the popular culture, but never knew what it was. And now I know.
It's like a staple for burgeoning anime fans coming up in the early 2000s. It was one of those few that were like on Adult Swim.
Also, there are so many versions of Death Note. I found out that there's a live action from Netflix, which is terrible. It has a
You
white
watched
light.
it?
I watched the trailer and there was a white light and I was out. But then there's a Japanese version, which has like a very cute like L with his feet in his like sitting poses.
Yeah, most people actually attest because the live action animes do not have a very strong budget in Japan.
Also, I've seen like the trailer for a live action version of Attack on Titan. That was bougie.
Yeah, like I said, the budget for the live action animes aren't always the best.
That was bad.
Especially if there's going to be CGI. Like, if anything, I will give the Netflix Death Note credit for how Ryuk looked. Like, Ryuk looked pretty decent in the Netflix version. The Japanese adaptations, not so much, but they made it in like an earlier time. The CGI has come a long way since the original live action Japanese Death Notes, but in terms of like performances, I hear it's pretty good.
Also, there is Death Note the musical.
Oh, I didn't know there was a musical.
Yeah, there's a musical. You can watch all 2.5 hours on it on YouTube.
God damn, 2.5 hours?
It's a play.
I'm trying to remember the last time I was at a musical and it being that long, but I guess it counted for like intermission and stuff too.
Hamilton was definitely 2.5 hours.
Still have not seen that.
Oh no.
No, don't know me. It's been a choice. I mean, I have access to not Hulu, Disney Plus, so I could very well.
Yeah, you could just click. I went to go see it in Chicago when it came to Chicago.
Yeah, I just don't care about the founding fathers, so that's why I don't particularly care to watch it.
I actually love that period of time. I like the Revolutionary War stuff. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it because Hamilton was and is everywhere. The parodies and the music. I still have yet to hear a song from Hamilton that had me like, yo, this song is a bop.
I love the soundtrack. I love it. I loved it when it came out. I still love it now. And even though like after the pandemic, like people really turned on Hamilton and were saying,
why they turn on it?
Well, because they thought that they were too soft on white slave owners.
Oh yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, almost all the founding fathers were played by black and brown people anyway.
Yeah, and they thought that was weird. They didn't like it. They felt like that, like they felt like that kind of like humanized them and made them look like better than they were. Like
I mean, for one, they are human, and I think that adds to the atrocity of the shit that they did. So keep the humanizing in, just so you can remember, yeah, you might have liked these people back in the day, but also it would have been weird to have white people rapping like that. It's just a subject matter that
was that it should have never been made in the first place. Period. Full stop. Like that. Yeah. Not like, oh, these should be white people, but like, no, this shouldn't exist. No,
yeah. Like, is it like? I don't want to knock somebody's creativity. Like, I could see this being something that like a history teacher would do to try to engage their students, but
and lots of history teachers did, and it worked, and people did like, and students did really get into the Revolutionary War and dig into all of the things that were happening at that time and the differences in the government and the way that they in the way that things ran versus how they run now. So like one of the major differences now is that you have like if you like campaigning, like at that time their campaigning didn't really exist until Burr did it. And also at that time, if you lose the bid for the presidency, then you become the vice president. So it had a huge impact on the laws, and in fact they changed that law like right afterwards.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. If things don't go their way, they change the laws.
Well, also that's an insane law. Like, I'm a Republican, you're a Democrat, I win, but you're my vice president. Like, nothing's about to get done. Like, you're introducing like mad inefficiencies into the system.
Right. Like, I don't like you. I'm gonna hinder you at every step. And then you're gonna look like an inefficient fucking president. Yeah. But at the same time, the founding fathers just had that idea of like we're not going to be like Britain. We actually are all on the same page at the end of the day. It's just one of us has a slightly better idea that folks want to go along with. But at the end of the day, you still agree with me. That's why we don't have any parties.
Nah, they had parties. They had, yeah, they had parties, and they were going back and forth in these letters, which got incorporated into the play. And also, like, I was aware of Alexander Hamilton before it came out because I had been assigned to read the Federalist Papers, like for graduate school in a political science class that I was taking. So yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Alexander Hamilton and the Hamilton play, and I kind of don't care what anybody else has to say about it. All that shit they brought up, I wasn't bothering me.
Like, look, for all I care, this is just a fictional story.
Oh no, it's not a fictional story.
No,
but,
I'm just, I
well,
know,
like,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, you know, just given how it's presented and the entertainment value of it all, you're like, I'm here to be entertained. I don't really care about the actual facts at hand and who was actually black, who was actually white. I'm here for the bops and the costumes. That's what I get from a lot of the people who like it. They like the period piece-ness of it all and the music. Like, you're not
But
really
I also
thinking too
like
deep
the
about it.
historical stuff in what's fact and what's fiction.
Right. It's nice that there's some actual facts sprinkled in, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the costumes. I'm here for the drama. I'm here for the stage performance. I'm here for the music.
Also, I haven't, like, the book that it was based on, I haven't read the whole book, but I have read excerpts of the book, and I probably will read the book one day. And some of the letters that he wrote to his wife and to his sister-in-law, like, I've read those too. He did write, like, really beautifully.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of Alexander Hamilton, even though I recognize that he is very flawed.
Aren't we all? But in terms of, I realized I left my phone in the bathroom. In terms of Death Note, did you watch the musical, or you just saw that there was like a 2 hour?
I saw that there was a musical. I did not get around to watching it yet.
Would you?
I might, because, like, I've just seen, like, little, like, snippets of, like, stuff that they're doing on stage. I thought it was interesting that, like, the tennis match gets played out on stage. Like, I want to see, like, how they did everything on stage in a play format.
Yeah, if nothing else, the ingenuity for these plays are interesting in their own right.
Misa killing herself at the end. I was like, oh.
I forgot she did that. How she hang herself or something?
No, she jumped. She jumped off of a bridge or some shit. And I was like, why?
Because light is gone. Literally, the light of her life is gone.
He never liked you.
But he was still the light of her life, and he's gone. But
the women in this were...
Look, I'm not defending it. I'm just, we
already
knew.
I was not feeling it. And then, like, and then she jumped, and I was just kind of like,
bye.
You, the Shinigami guys, twice, and then this is how you end it? Like, you end it? It wasn't even like Shinigami eyes. You got them twice, and so now you die at 24 because you got hit by a bus because you cut your life in half twice. No, you just, like, your boyfriend died. Your boyfriend who
did not like you.
Did not like you. Was real upfront about it too, all the time. He died, and so you jump off a bridge. I don't understand.
Well, now that you're done with Death Note, the creator of Death Note also did another show called Platinum End.
Okay.
And in that show, a number of people have been gifted with angelic abilities. And amongst the people who have these angelic abilities, they are to decide who's going to be the new god.
Hmm.
Apparently, God is dying. And God will be chosen from the people on Earth, specifically Japan, because Japan has a high suicide rate. And when the angels gift them with these abilities, they are gifting people who essentially have nothing else to live for. So this is an opportunity for them to have something to live for, becoming God. Now they're not necessarily supposed to kill each other until there's only one left, but you have some people who are taking that route because they have L's mentality of like, I deserve this kind of thing. And then you got other people who are just like, yo, I just want to have these powers and live my best life on Earth. I don't want to be God. I just want to use these powers. That's it, kind of thing. I want to say it's as good as Death Note. It's not. It's now you might enjoy it more than me. There's a lot more talking than Death Note for sure, and Death Note had a whole lot of talking. So for me to say there's more talking in Platinum in
Death Note did seriously have those 10-minute scenes.
Yes, and these episodes are essentially that, but again, instead of light playing God, these people literally have angelic abilities. And not everybody has the same angelic abilities. Some angels are more elite than others. So depending on the eliteness of your angel, you will get certain abilities or more abilities. And that concept was interesting because like the angels have their own motives essentially for like who they pick and why they want their person to succeed. Because I think if their person dies or doesn't succeed, something happens to them. I can't remember. I don't even remember if I finished the series, to be quite honest. Like, I fell off somewhere near the end because the protagonist is just so inactive. He's like, he doesn't really want to do anything. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He's not interesting to watch. You're just frustrated watching him. Like, nigga, do something. People are going to die one way or another. You can at least limit how many people do.
That's well, okay, so back to Ryuk. Like, that's what was great about Ryuk. He's like, I'm gonna just throw this shit down, see who picks it up. Hopefully somebody boring doesn't pick it up, and then just read it and be like, well, I don't want anybody to die. He would be
so bored with this main protagonist.
I'm not gonna do it. Like, if I write their name down, then I shouldn't leave this out in the street.
This is wild. Let me put this back. This is nothing but the devil.
Right.
I rebuke thee.
Light, on the other hand, picks it up. It was just kind of like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm a cute.
Again, because he just had that mentality of, I deserve this. And there was a dude like him in Platinum Inn that was like, I deserve to be God. I'm beautiful. I'm rich. And like whatever your mindset is essentially how the world would be ran. Like one of the abilities they had was mind control. Okay. So like they would shoot you with an it looked like a diamond. They called it an arrow. They shoot you with like this red diamond, and like whoever you shot with it, they did whatever you wanted. They loved you unconditionally. They would do whatever you wanted.
Oh no.
And he used that abusively. It was whoo, child. But yeah, maybe check that out. I would still recommend watching Psycho-Pass before.
Well, I am looking to get into, like, first I threatened to like sit Trevor down and hold his eyes open and make him watch Carmen Jones. So I haven't seen him in a while.
Has he not watched it with you before?
He has not, and I plan to like I said, hold him down.
You said no brother of mine is gonna be in my house being uncultured.
Yes. So that's one. Two, I also got to the end of He's Expecting.
I still haven't watched that yet.
Oh
How?
my God, I loved it because
Oh, that's good.
with that one premise of like the world is pretty much just the same. It's just that now some men sometimes can get pregnant. Um,
And then, okay, and one thing, is it just through just sexual intercourse in general?
mhm.
And is it like, what does the penis suck up the woman's
Look,
ovaries, and
look,
now
look, 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 look,
like
look, 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 look.
they don't
You
they
like
don't ever
I tell.
explain the science?
I'm gonna tell you like I told Trevor when he started asking about like the science, and I said, "Well, first of all, explain to me how does a death note work?" And he was like, "Okay,
Okay, but at least the
okay, I
Death
get
Note
it."
has instructions.
Yeah, well, the thing here is that men, some men sometimes can get pregnant, but society still has like a stigma against it.
Yes, they do. And there's like
So,
there's no like way of pre-diagnosing someone as saying like you run the chance of getting pregnant. Like
well,
there's
here's the
no.
thing. They do know that it can like sometimes run in families, which is
Mhm,
why one of the big plot twists, do you want the spoiler? Do you want
sure.
the big twist? Is
Yes.
that towards around the middle of the series, a bit towards the end, his father pops up, which is real fucked up because his mama had told him that his father was dead and he had been raised.
Oh, wow. You just gonna tell me my daddy's dead, bruh?
Yeah, she told him that his daddy was dead, and this dude pops up and was like, "Haha, I'm your baba, but also your mama because I carried you for 9 months." And he's like, "Wait,
Wow.
what?" Turned out his mama was lying to him the whole time. His
Wow.
father had also been a pregnant man and had given birth to him.
Wow. And then
And
what, went
then
into hiding?
he gave birth to him, and then he was like the stigma against it and the shame, like people were always like whispering about him, like he just ran off. But then
Wow.
when his son became famous and was on billboards
Oh,
because of
now
that
you want to
marketing
come back.
campaign, he
Wow.
comes back. Yeah.
It tricks me out how this is the second time I've heard of like a man being ashamed, and he, in Japan specifically, he's
Mhm.
ashamed, he runs away and like changes his name
Mm.
because of like I guess it was a small enough town that people knew what you look like in your name.
Yep.
But wow, you just
Yeah,
gonna
and
leave
also
her with the baby?
so like when me and Trevor like first saw this, we were like, "Oh my God, I hope he's lying because if he's telling the truth, which he was, then that means his mother should have told him that
You're
his father,
predisposed.
your father gave birth to you, and while you're running around out here fucking everybody, you could get pregnant."
I mean, I don't know if that's going to stop him from fucking around though,
Right, but
because like, well,
yeah.
he was just with his one partner. Because I was going to say like,
No, he wasn't.
oh, he had multiple
He
partners.
had multiple partners, which is another reason that why when he first got pregnant and he brought like the abortion agreement to this one woman that he had been having sex with, she was like,
Are you sure it's
"But is
mine?
it mine though? Because like we were just fuck buddies. Like I know you've been sleeping with other people."
Like
Also,
yeah.
while he's pregnant and he's like trying to chat with a girl that he used to have sex with, and he was like, "Well, I'll be giving birth in like a month or so, like maybe we should hook up like after I give birth." And she was like, "I don't want to be with a man who's giving birth."
So I say that because I thought he was only with the one partner and they were like
Mm-mm,
having unprotected sex.
mm-mm.
So he was having unprotected sex with multiple partners.
Possibly, but we know that he was
Mm.
having sex with multiple partners.
I know, but
And
like, because then it's like, again, we don't know the science for how these men are getting pregnant. Because it's like, is it just the
but
act
if
of sex itself, or if
but
you wear
is
protection, are you fine?
I think if you use protection, you'll be fine. But like if he's just relying on the woman to take birth control, like he's still not covered in the way that he thinks he is.
Yeah. Plus, other possible diseases. And again, is there
And
like no.
his mama should have told him like you can get pregnant. don't think that is something that can't
and
happen to
and
you.
and again, there's no kind of like testing, any screening
Well,
to
they
say like,
talk about how they don't know at this point in the world. They don't know why it happens, but they know that it runs in families. So, like, if your dad gave birth to you, then it's possible that you, as a male, could also like get
but
pregnant. But
again,
if somebody keeps
run
that
a
from you,
fucking x-ray over my stomach and show me the ovaries in me. Like, how are y'all not seeing that I have ovaries and you could remove them right then and there? What is going on? This has been happening for how many years now?
since the 80s.
Since the 80s, and y'all still don't have, y'all Japan. Y'all definitely would have the technology to determine if this man has ovaries.
I really liked in this series how like just that one change of like men can get pregnant, like really like flipped the script on so many things because first of all he's like I'm pregnant and she was like by who, and
Right.
second of all once he was pregnant he was like so are we gonna get married and she was like huh, what
Why?
no what
Why? Just because you got a baby? Were you gonna marry me if I was pregnant? Now you won't be
Shit,
taken care of, nigga?
you gonna tell him, okay, so I was thinking we could do this new thing where like we gonna raise the baby together, but like we ain't really gonna be together like that. And I was like, that ain't no new thing.
Look, come over to America. We've been doing this for a long time. You know, they say it takes a village. This is one show that I'd be interested to see made into like an American adaptation. It would be a hot mess as an American adaptation. First of all, I wonder how the show was received in Japan because I can already see people losing their goddamn minds.
People are losing their goddamn minds about in America about seeing just the trailer for this. Like if you go to the trailer for this on YouTube and look at the comment section, oh, people are like, this fucking woke shit.
Yeah, they're always with the woke. They don't even use the term right anymore. It's just anytime is anything that is challenging of the status quo. Uncomfortable, challenges the status quo, brings attention to anything outside of cis white men is woke. It's really not. It's really not. You can argue that there might be an agenda, but the agenda is just exposure at the end of the day. It's just bringing more things to the forefront.
Oh,
Lord have mercy.
Well, I really liked it. I liked the way it ended. He had the baby.
Oh, boy or girl?
I think it was a boy.
I hope they give that boy the talk when he's older.
I don't know. It looks like he's sticking around. Well, he didn't abandon his baby. They did not get married. They are living together. They're raising the kid together. They're like what their relationship will turn out to be is still ambiguous, but they are still raising the kid together. And she is going to Singapore because she got a job opportunity. And she was like, well, like if I had given birth, then I wouldn't be in shape to like go take advantage of this opportunity. But I didn't. You did. So I'm out. I'm going to Singapore. I'll send you some money because
you know, I'm clearly the breadwinner right now. You know, I mean, that is part me. So I am partially responsible. So I mean, I'll send money.
And she looked like she was pretty proud of it. Like her she was showing off to her friends. Like she was like, you see that billboard up there of that pregnant man? Like, yeah, that's my baby.
I did that. I laid down. Yeah. Because it's so good it got him pregnant. Woo! That's wild. You know, it would be wild if a guy and a woman got pregnant at the same time. That'd be wild. Why hasn't that been? Maybe that's season 2.
Oh yeah.
A couple has sex and the guy gets pregnant and she gets pregnant. That's crazy. Are the kids twins?
So like those are siblings. Like those are.
They're twins.
They're special kind of, but they're not twins because they didn't share a womb. They got 2 different wombs.
You're right.
That's cute though.
That's so wild.
But then they'd both be lactating and they'd both be like trying to recover from giving birth. And then they could
Oh,
argue about who's in the most pain
I mean,
because he has to have a cesarean and she could give birth vaginally.
okay, she's still gonna be in
And then they can
pain.
fight about that.
She has to wear a diaper for like 6 months or something, and
Yeah.
he just has a cut.
He has stitches
He just
though.
has okay. It's not like he gave birth out his booty hole. It's a booty hole. You can't give birth out your booty hole. It's a booty hole.
Oh my god, that was terrifying too. When they showed him like giving birth, because I guess he had contractions. He was screaming. He
Yeah.
was screaming in pain.
It's still a womb in there. It's still trying to push that thing
And
out.
then they had to cut him open. Oh my god.
Well, sucks to suck. Oh my god, he
Okay.
lacks it. He got a breastfeed too. Anyway, well, that's one way to end the show.
He had to put pads on his little breast because he was lactating like even before he gave birth, and he was leaking through his suit.
Oh my god, he actually grew titties, bigger titties.
I guess, yeah, a little bit.
Wow. Okay. I might watch the show. I still got a lot of stuff on my backlog of stuff to do. So let me go ahead and get to that backlog. I have been Ash.
I have been Fatima.
And this has been
Fatash.
Fatash. Bye.